30th year of Dr. Ambedkar's birth anniversary, I pay my tribute to Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. B.M. Rao Ambedkar, considered to be the architect of the Indian Constitution, and we have heard much about him. And I think within this limited time, instead of going to the background and history of Dr. Ambedkar, I want to make use of my time. The relevance of Dr. Ambedkar in connection with Article 16(4). And as Dr. Mohan Gopal has rightly pointed out, that this is the time that we have to think and we have to act. Dr. Neela Dasan Nadar, in his speech, I was listening to his speech, and also of Advocate Indira Jaisingh, that what was really happening in the Constituent Assembly during the freedom struggle, and now what is happening in the Supreme Court. And I am not going back, but I just want to see that now we see specifically new threats to the reservations in educational institutions and in employment to the so-called oppressed classes. The universities are being privatized and the educational reservations are in threat. The government sector for employment is just 2%, and that too is under the threat of privatization. Social justice can be achieved only by implementing reservations in employment in the 98% private sector, which I am aware that it has a long way to go. The unscientific and unlawful allocation of the reservation on the basis of economically weak sections has become a treachery by the government. Many so-called leaders play hide and seek game in this. In the economically weaker sections, the reservations have become practically 20%. Contrary to the assurance of the Chief Minister of Kerala, concerning Kerala, I am speaking, that out of the 50% general quota, only the 50% reservation quota, the state won't implement. But practically, for the whole percentage that now they get a share unparalleled with their population, and that too on a unscientific base. As an elected member to the then newly constituted Parliamentary OBC Welfare Committee, on the instigation of Sri Rahul Gandhi and Sri Hanuman Rao MP of Andhra Pradesh in 2012, I had the opportunity, along with Dr. A. Sambat MP from Kerala, we were elected members from the Lok Sabha to this committee. Our findings reveal that even though the 27% job reservations have been allocated to OBCs as per the Mandal Commission recommendations, here we have heard lots of data about OBCs. I understand that the OBC population is around 52% of the total population of India. Consequent to the findings of the Mandal Commission, not even 10% had achieved in 2012 from our reports and from our inquiries and sittings with the government and public sector undertakings. Sad to say that even I remember that in ONGC, in State Bank of India, when they selected persons, officials to go abroad for training, when 137 candidates were selected, they didn't even select not even one candidate from the OBCs. Once I asked a chairman of a public sector undertaking, when in your concern, not even 10% other backward classes have been appointed, why couldn't you use the special recruitment as a method to fill the vacancies? He was keeping mum. He had no answer. I find that, to cut short my speech, the relevance of today's webinar, according to me, is to organize a force to resist to the onslaughts of the so-called rulers and administrators on the encroachments of the namesake reservations. Dr. Neelagovind Nadaras elaborated what was happening, and from my experience, I find that we have to organize a force of available jurists, politicians, leaders of the oppressed classes, and see what we can do. And according to me, that is the relevance of today's webinar. While once again, I pay my rich tribute to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, I put forward this suggestion that we have to organize, at least to save our next generation, that they should get at least something from the so-called nation, and that only can provide a meaning to Dr. Ambedkar's dreams and for the very existence, for the decent existence of the oppressed classes in India. Thank you very much.